guys will be doing various things in the classroom with Clean Valley. How many of you were in Miss Childers' class 2 years back where Clean Valley came in and did some stuff with you guys? All right, a lot of the stuff that you're going to see, definitely on the earth science benchmark, and some of it will be on the physical science benchmark and stuff that you need to be aware of. So please be polite and give her your attention.
Hey guys, our activity deals with watershed issues. What is a watershed? Can anybody tell me what a watershed is? Shed with water. It's not a building.
It's rain.
I told you earlier, so you better get it.
It's a river.
That's part of it.
Yes,
Part of it. But it's more than just the bodies of water. All right? All the water that runs down this mountain, it's shedding down the mountain. Okay? Any of the water that flows over the land and goes into another body of water is your watershed. Okay? Now, if this mountain right here was like the Roanoke area, any water that hit this side of the mountain would flow down towards the Roanoke River. Any water that hit this side of the mountain would flow down towards Botetourt County, and all of that water goes to the James River. Okay? Now, the James River does end up in the Chesapeake Bay. The Roanoke River does not. We're going to walk our way through it and see if we can follow the path all the way to the ocean. All right? So it starts with some creeks, goes into the Roanoke River. This is the Roanoke River. So here's a creek. Here's the Roanoke River. This would be the lake that's nearby. What is that lake called? Smith Mountain. All right, Smith Mountain Lake. Now that's a man-made lake. Okay? They basically took a valley and they flooded it. And there are whole buildings down there and trees standing up. They didn't cut the trees down when they flooded it. They just left everything down there. So people who go scuba diving and stuff in there, if they can see through all the murky silt, they would see buildings and things down there. And sometimes the trees rot and then they come up to the surface and start floating around, so they have to be careful. All right, so after Smith Mountain Lake, it goes back into the Roanoke River. Then it goes down to Kerr Reservoir. Okay, what is a reservoir? Do you guys know? It's a body of water. What does it do? All right, yeah, it holds drinking water, okay? Just kind of like Carvin's Cove. They use it to collect water that they're going to use for drinking water, okay? From Kerr Reservoir, it goes down to Lake Gaston. After it goes to Lake Gaston, it drops below the state line. So what state is it going into?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. When it hits North Carolina, it goes into the Albemarle Sound. Now that's probably going to be one of the questions you guys have. A lot of people think that the Roanoke River watershed goes into the Chesapeake Bay, but the Chesapeake Bay, the James River flows into the bay, and it's a lot higher than us. So all of our water flows below the Chesapeake. It does end up in the Atlantic Ocean after it hits the Albemarle Sound. All right, so what we're going to talk about today are all the things that might possibly get into our water that could pollute it. Okay? Anything that we dump on our yards or on our streets, it washes down into these storm drains and it goes directly to the creeks and rivers. And we're going to try to simulate that today. All right, so looking at this model, this would be our farm area. This mountain here would be like where they're strip mining or coal mining, or they are cutting down trees for lumber. This represents a factory, so an industrial area. This, we're pretending this road here is 81. Okay. This area right here where the dog is, that's going to be a dog park. All right. This represents some shops, so maybe shopping centers, that kind of thing. All right. These houses here represent a neighborhood, and this area here where there isn't any grass is a brand new school. So they cleared all the land off to build the building, and they left a lot of exposed dirt. All right, this here represents downtown, like the apartment buildings. Okay, so here's a creek, here's the Roanoke River, that's the lake. All right, looking at this, where do you think there might be something that would affect our water?
Right there. The barn.
All right, the farm. What about the farm?
The manure.
All right, the animals. Okay. So you can put a few drops of animal waste behind the animals.
Oh, God.
Just a little bit, not too much.
Oh, you would be the one making sound effect.
Okay.
That's
All right. Where else would there probably be some problems with animal waste?
Dog.
At the dog park?
The factory?
Go ahead, you can put it at the dog park. Well, hopefully they have bathrooms at the factory.
You're talking about the pollution and the
Okay, well, we'll get to that in a minute. We're talking about animal waste right now. Okay, so, you know, it's very common for farmers to let their cows get into the creeks and rivers to cool off. And if the cows stay there long enough, you know what they're going to do? They will pollute the water. All right, and another problem is that they drink that same water, and so the animals are getting sick. So what the veterinarians have told the farmers to do is to put fences up to keep the animals out of the river, okay? But any water that flows across those fields where the animal waste is still going to pick up the bacteria and some of the pollutants before it gets into our river. All right, what else on the farm might get into our water?
the oil. And
All right, let's do oil. Now,
What about the dirt?
this spills very, very quickly, so just put a few drops behind the tractor. Okay, where else?
the behind the gas
All right, yeah, here where they have all this heavy equipment.
I smell steak sauce.
It is steak sauce. You're right. You have a good nose. Watch out, sweetie. Okay.
the trash.
You do some. Anywhere around any of these cars. And then watch. Look. Oh, there was a wreck on 81.
Steak sauce.
Oil spill. Okay. What about, you think maybe the school bus might have a leaky?
Yeah.
All right. Who hasn't done one? Me. Okay.
You don't do the closest person.
I'm close, but Seth is in the way.
Okay.
What about
All right.
that car?
Well, why don't you walk over there and do it?
No, none of y'all take it.
If it was a bee, you know what happens when you flap your hands? The air will pull it towards you. So if you sit still, he'll go away. Okay. Now, do you? Yep. What do you think might be in the lake that might spill oil?
The boat.
Boats. Okay. We have the oil.
Makes me
honey.
hungry.
Thank you. Makes you hungry.
It makes you hungry.
Steak sauce. I don't like steak sauce.
Oh, I did.
I think
Steak sauce is delicious.
Okay, there you go. Good job. Okay, what else might the farmer use on his field?
Pesticides.
All right, pesticides. Now, this has gotten really moist, so we have to use just a pinch. You have to grab a pinch of it. Sprinkle it around. Anybody else want to sprinkle? Just take a pinch of it and sprinkle anywhere you think they might use
Is this
insecticides.
Kool-Aid or something like that?
Yeah, it's cherry Kool-Aid.
Cherry chili.
Cherry Kool-Aid.
What's that supposed to be?
This is bug spray, pesticides. Yeah, come around here.
Good thing I did not look the kids up.
Just a little bit. Yeah, you know, they probably use it at the park here.
You ain't doing nothing.
You might use it around your gardens at your house.
I already poured some over there.
Don't spill it.
Okay. Put a few sprinkles around the... All right, good. Well, he's trying to get the little gardens around the house. Okay, I'll take it. Thank you. All right, what else might the farmer use on his fields?
Fertilizer.
Fertilizer. All right. A lot of times people tend to put more fertilizer than they really need. They think more is better, but they don't read the labels and they tend to put too much. The plants can only soak up so much, and then after that, it's just going to wash away.
That's glitter.
It's cookie sprinkles. You know, like at Christmas time, they have those cookie sprinkles. All right, now, what else from the farm, like if this farmer left his fields bare for a while, what might...
Erosion.
Erosion, okay. So here we have dirt, cocoa. So anywhere that there's exposed dirt, or they might have some little gardens around their houses that might have some loose dirt in it. Definitely up here where they're mining and cutting down trees, there's probably a good bit of dirt that'll wash away. And then if the farmer isn't careful how he plows his field. Now, if the farmer were to plant his, that's good. If the farmer were to plant his fields, the rows of the fields, straight up and down, what do you think might happen?
It would just get washed in there.
Right, it's all going to wash down, right? But because he's planted it across the contour of the farm, the water would have to go up and over all those rows to get off. So it's going to slow it down a little bit. All right. What else is a big problem?
Toxic waste. Or
Pollution.
All right.
Litter.
How about litter? Yeah. We already have a good bit on there. So anywhere you think you might see litter, yeah, definitely along the roadways. Okay.
put
here
some
comes
litter
a
at the
fun one.
factory.
Yeah. At the factory,
Toxic waste.
the factories, guys. If you don't want to listen, that's fine. Just be quiet. Don't interrupt it for the rest of them. Thank you. All right. So at the factory here, they're allowed to dump a certain amount of waste every day. I mean, legally they can. All right. So who wants to sprinkle? You want to sprinkle since you're right here? Sprinkle some in there. And this is something that I'm not real crazy about because sometimes they just dump hot water. But what kind of water has more oxygen in it?
Cold.
Hot or cold? Cold. So if they're dumping hot water out here and probably some chemicals in it, what are they going to do to the creek?
It's gonna pollute the creek.
It's going to change the pH. It's going to change how much oxygen is in it. And all those macroinvertebrates and things that you just learned about are probably not going to be very healthy.
So there's going to be some dead fish in there.
Yeah, there could be. Because the animals like it to be a certain pH, a certain amount of oxygen in the water, and when that changes, they get sick. All right, what else does the factory produce? All right, smoke, air pollution, and all those carbons go up in the air. They come back down as what?
Acid rain.
Acid rain. All right, since you answered, you get to shoot it in the chimney. You get it? Now, you guys want to drink this water now? No, probably not.
So is that vinegar and baking
Vinegar
soda?
and baking soda. Makes a nice fizz. If you shake it up in a bottle, it'll blow the top off.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that. That'd be cool. Vinegar and baking soda.
Okay, got one more.
The stuff that makes
Now, when you guys wash your cars,
stuff that makes volcanoes.
where do you normally wash your car?
In front of your house.
In your driveway, right?
Oh.
Okay? Any water or soap that you have in your driveway is going to run down into the street, and it goes into the storm drain.
Yeah.
And our storm drains are connected directly to a creek or a river. Okay? All of our storm drains. Now in Lynchburg, their storm drains and their sewer drains all went through the same pipes. So they all went to the water treatment plant and were cleaned and released. Our storm drains go directly to our creeks and our rivers. So anything that washes off of our yards or any soap that we have that we're washing our cars with, it goes straight into the creek. Okay? Now, what you could do instead of washing your car, you want to pour some on? Somebody who hasn't done it. He hadn't done it. All right, you pour some on that car.
This car.
You tipped over the cow.
The cow
That's
fell
all
on
right.
its own
It's
poop.
taking a nap.
Well, I had to put it to
Okay, so instead of washing your car on your driveway, one thing that you can do to make it a little bit better is to wash it on the grass, if you can pull up onto the grass. I know Roanoke has a lot of hills, and a lot of driveways you can't really get onto the grass. If you wash your car on the grass instead of on the road, the soaps and all the toxins and things will go up into the plants, and the water will be released out back into the water cycle. So basically the grass is filtering out all those chemicals. Okay? So if you can, it's better to wash your car in the grass. All right? All right. Now we're going to make it rain.
Can I do it?
Everybody